it personally since I blew him up earlier.
He starts purring.
None of you but
I've had
well,
children.
eventually the speech comes to a conclusion with the Empress giving, a promise of, celebrations in the days to come and many, many years of peace that has been never before seen. And, asks for everyone to enjoy her hospitality for the rest of the night. An applause goes out unanimously from the massive ballroom, and fireworks begin to be set off and explode vibrantly in the sky in all sorts of crazy colors.
And somebody takes a bunch of pills.
Somebody... Oh, right, no, I was just playing with my bottle of pills. Sorry.
That got kind of grim.
I'm sorry, just my pills.
You can see enough if you look closer to her, so you can see the resemblance to her cousin. She is also blonde and fairly young, although a little bit more mature looking. Her hair has a bit more of a silvery tint, but she still has the same rough look.
She's about a 7.
Faustus' snooty levels are rising.
Faustus, you bastard. You are scum. The worst of scum.
Hey, don't go that far.
During this entire process, the minister's son is continuously trying to see anything, really, of what's going on below, but is continuously thwarted by Bernard.
I love my job.
Your job is just screwing with this poor runt of the litter.
What are the party's reactions to the speech, if any?
None.
Faustus is...
Cooper's only half awake.
Oh.
He knows the drill by now, so he's not incredibly interested, but he still appreciates the foreign policy.
Oh, well... Fair enough. What about you, Bernard?
I don't understand these things. And I don't care to.
There are lots of pretty people in the crowd below, though.
Oh, now I have... Shut up. Who do you think I am? I'm not a Simpson.
There are a bunch of shiny things and bright colors below me.
Speaking of shiny things, the fireworks are truly quite incredible as they explode above you. You have never seen such a display in your entire life. The sky is almost completely obscured by a mystifying range of incredibly creative and somehow very well controlled, probably magical in nature, explosions of color. Everyone roll perception.
I rolled a 15.
13.
But I have a 21 passive.
I rolled an 18.
Son of a
Rolled a 24.
Oh, Bernard.
Bernard, you feel something is off during the firework display, but you can't put your finger quite on what.
You're dumb.
Someone's being murdered! Quick!
A murder?
The fireworks all contain dead bodies.
In retrospect, it was a mistake to tell you guys this would be a murder mystery before it actually started.
Did you just steal a plot from the Star Trek movie?
It becomes hard to even hear yourself think, considering the constant banging of the fireworks above. And also the endless amounts of cheering.
Wait, I remember this level. You have to sneak into the dressing room and replace the fake gun with the real gun.
What?
And then you blow up the chandelier.
Yeah, when the guy comes to investigate.
What?
Hitman reference.
Oh.
Eat the man.
Eventually, the ceremony draws to a close. But of course it continues below. The minister slaps his hand together looking satisfied and says, That was a wonderful speech, don't you all think?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
That was like the only speech I've ever heard in my life, and it was awful. I don't think I ever want to hear one again.
It's looking like a grand future for our empire at this point.
Says the
Yeah.
minister,
It's
completely
excessive.
ignoring everyone.
Everyone, I'm incredibly happy to see the empire's interest turning inward for a change. Perhaps my department will finally receive some more funds.
Don't count on
He-
it. It's a political
I squint my eyes at
endeavor.
him in disdain.
Uh,
Hey, and
Meanwhile,
perhaps since
some
you're
has
gonna
been
give us
completely
more funds,
swallowed
how
into
about
Bernard's
trickle down
hair.
economics?
after a while, music begins to play, and for a brief period, the minister appears to get sick. He coughs rather increasingly unhealthily sounding, sort of gutturally and unpleasantly.
Please.
He says,
your
"Oh
face away
yes,
from my
I'm fine." He mumbles something about his cystic fibrosis and
exist.
well, yeah, it does
He
exist.
mutters something about his hemorrhoids and rushes off.
That exists. And
And takes several glasses of champagne from the table in front of him.
I'm gonna.
Finally,
Perhaps you should
Wait,
check those
Can
first.
I roll a heal check on him to diagnose that cough?
oh sure.
Yeah, 18.
It doesn't seem like anything's wrong with him. He seems, it seems like just a pretty normal, your lungs are kind of fucked cough.
It seems like a pretty normal. Your body's just gonna shut down because you're old and useless.
Wait, perhaps you should not eat or drink anything until we have made sure it's safe.
He hastily ignores you and begins trying to drink a champagne.
I smack it out of his hands.
He says, what is the meaning of this?
Why did you hire us if you're not going to have us taste your food for
Oh.
you? And I mean all of it.
Oh, you suspect it to be poisoned? Oh, well, by all means then.
Bottoms up.
I drink the entire glass of champagne in one sip.
Oh wait, this was a terrible
I'm
idea.
still only 15 years old.
Yeah.
In case you
The
need
views of this campaign do not represent.
It's fine. It's
Don't
medieval
drink,
times. I'm like this
I
is
lean over to Faustus.
no these
These
were
medieval times, he'd already be married.
no like in these days, drinking champagne was literally the only way to not get horrible
That's a good point.
diseases from the water.
Well, Bernard, you drink the entire glass of champagne without incident. But you do begin to
Disagree.
feel a little strange.
balcony side.
Not incident,
Keep in
is
mind
not
that you're
harm.
now drunk
He
on a balcony.
reaches over to pour himself another glass now that you verified it's not poison.
Wait, yeah, maybe I should check your other glass. That one could be.
Bernard,
That's the glass.
I do believe you're a bit of a lightweight. Perhaps you should slow down.
The minister's life is in our hands.
Well then, drink up. It's a party.
You first. I toast a glass with Faustus.
Alright, fine. I'll drink.
And he doesn't actually drink because
I
he's a
wish you'd
fuck-
said you'd taste the drink and then ask your butler to taste the drink. Like just
That would've been
No,
way
I'm not
smarter.
that fucked up.
Sure, I'll taste this
Ow.
drink. Taste this drink.
yes. But in any way, case after
I'll taste it.
He
Faustus
repeatedly
says,
tries
as the
to get
drink
a-
just falls through.
he
his
repeatedly
nose.
tries to get a drink from underneath Bernard, and hopefully he eventually succeeds.
You're gonna have to roll it.
I guess he will have to roll it. He is going to roll acrobatics to try and get his arms past Bernard and drink.
Please tell me you made an acrobatics macro.
Nope.
Unfortunately, he fails to do so and never gets to
And
drink
he
any
sticks his
champagne.
hand straight into my hair, and it's never seen again.
Richard rolls a counter
Listen.
acrobatics to try to grab it from Bernard and get
Bern-
one too. Oh, no.
Bernard drinks until every brain cell in his little head is gone. All the
Yeah,
shots.
like, I'm dead then. Thanks.
Yeah.
He just rolled a natural one on trying to get a glass of that champagne.
Looking
Bernard,
disappointed,
I am
looking
I'm
disappointed that's trying to remain. Oh, sorry, go on, Zakara.
See, I'm going to hand him like my water skin so he can drink from that.
He looks a bit disappointed about having to drink water, but nonetheless thanks Zakoro, and then pats his hands together, trying to appear cheerful despite the fact that you're all being terrible bodyguards, and says, "Well then, now the speech is over, what do you say we take to the ballroom floor and fraternize with some..."
Buford is on the floor because he tried to get some
sure.
champagne and rolled a natural 1.
I'm sure we could. There are many
So-
people who you'd be interested in meeting.
I don't know how to
You
dance.
would be mistaken, but let us
That's
go.
never stopped me, he says. He says, "Come along then." He gets up from his seat, he slowly hoists himself up from his seat, and gestures for his son to come with him. His son, reluctantly, hanging his head downward, still with shame, follows him from behind.
I passed the kid some champagne.
He
dr-
downs it instantly.
He drinks.
He drinks.
to forget
He
the
drinks a
pain.
few sips, and then he holds onto his tongue and says, "Oh, it hurts."
Ah, what a fucking baby. I say as I chug the rest of it.
As you crush the bottle on your...
He just crushed the champagne fluid on my head.
But you have very spongy
He
frog
says-
skin, so it just sinks into
Yeah.
your skull.
Yeah, exactly.
You now have a bob.
Walk around with the champagne fluid
We are
lodged in my
literally-
head.
Literally the worst bodyguards
He
in the
says-
history.
Well said, Maggot. We shouldn't need to cut through the kitchen this time. We really head straight to the ballroom. He stops suddenly as he enters the room.
Dun dun dun.
And in the room you see the Queen's cousin, Annabelle, lying upon the bare table, with blood all around
My
her
god!
chest.
She's been murdered!
Oh my god!
Oh my
this
God.
is a murder.
I really should have told you.
Lock the door
Have
and let
it.
me in the damn room, you assholes.
Bernard's bodyguard holds the man's son to the side and makes way.
Thank you, bodyguard.
Minister Verrill cries in distress and runs over to look at her. Her body is lying prone on its back on the table with what looks like a gunshot wound in the center of her chest. She is not
Murdered.
I can't believe there's been a murder. Who would have suspected such a thing to occur?
Not I.
Not I either.
Not... We all say not I, and then we bow and the curtains...
It doesn't look like there'd be any magic around, but did this guy disappear magically by any chance?
Did what guy disappear magically?
Murderer.
Yeah, what guy?
The
Roll
murderer.
Arcana.
I did,
Oh, you
31.
I thought we were gonna
Arcana
end up
immediately draws you to a set of runes that are inscribed around the entire room. That you recognize as ones that are inscribed regularly into those of nobility and those without magical talent. They can basically essentially make magic impossible in the constraints of this area.
Oh, so this is a magic-free zone.
Essentially, yeah.
Well,
Uh,
how about Socorro roll some kind of nature... Oh, you're not a ranger anymore.
No.
Was there any...
I've got good thievery.
Was there any signs of a struggle? Like, is there any smashed bottles? Any turned over chairs? What happened to these guards out?
are you trying to... Oh, the guards are still there. They haven't noticed you, though. They're just standing out there chatting to each other.
Did you see somebody come in or out of this room?
They turn urgently and they say, "No, sir. Why do you ask, sir?"
No reason.
Murder!
Keep standing your post.
They say, as you say,
Okay, so...
and return to talking to each other, now with slightly more worried tone.
They didn't...
Are you trying to... Sorry?
I'm just trying to
You said
assess
it-
the scene.
You said earlier you were trying to remember see if anything looks out of place compared to how it used to be?
Yeah.
Alright, sure. Okay, roll insight to try and remember.
23.
It looks that a couple of small trinkets have been knocked over on the side of the cabinet here. Just a couple. Also, the wardrobe is now hanging open.
Buford, investigate those trinkets on that table.
Okay. I do it.
Doesn't appear to be much to it. It looks like they're just a couple of vases and a couple of small statuettes, and they've just both been knocked backwards, presumably. Doesn't appear to be very much evidence of a struggle. In fact, there's no real blood outside of the table itself. Faustus, roll, yeah, anybody who's paying attention, roll insight. This will need a high roll to remember this about, like,
I was not paying attention.
Oh, Seeley.
Nope.
I did mention it.
31.
I mentioned that it's... Faustus, you realize that there is a significant change here. The tablecloth that she was lying upon is now gone. That was previously on the table that she is now lying upon is gone.
Upturned vases, missing tablecloth. Nobody came in or out of the room.
There is a window here,
Oh.
just in case, and also a
Also-
bathroom here.
Also, I should point out, if the cause of death appears to be gunshot wound, but there was none of us, nobody outside of this room heard it.
Yeah, I assume it was
Fireworks.
covered up from the fireworks.
I clap my hands together and say, it was the fireworks.
Bernard, you remember correctly that with your perception check earlier, you did think you heard a sound that came from the wrong place, and that was what your mind was trying to put together. You heard a bang that didn't come from the fireworks display.
I understand now.
I throw open the window and look to see any glint of
Right
a
up the
snake.
window, you see that there is actually another balcony out here, a very small one compared to the previous one. It overlooks the palace gardens that you were in previously, but is,
You see Fraser
Are there
hanging out.
are there any grappling hooks attached to the balcony?
no. It is, just a fairly,
Or a ladder.
fairly simple balcony with a fairly firm and high edge, like it has a railing, rather. There's nothing that appears to really be on here. Looking down below, you see, it's really hard to see what's going on down below because it is now the dead of night, and,
I
the
have no
garden
light
is...
vision.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
You see that there are a couple of people running about the garden, but none of them seem to be paying attention to what's going on. A few couples, a few garden staff. Nothing appears to be out of place at the balcony. At least not yet. But this is meant to be her bed. This thing here.
Well, if the gunshots were taking place during the fireworks, then that would imply that the person who did it knew when those fireworks would be going off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minister Varro is still in a state of shock. He is staring at the body in distress. His son has been left outside wondering what is going on.
Anybody have any ideas?
She was shot.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Yes, thank you, Bernard.
Oh,
I,
my God,
I do,
she's been murdered.
I do believe you're correct.
Murdered?
I
Oh,
believe it was an
God.
inside job.
What if she shot herself?
There is no sign of a murder weapon around here. Like it is not.
If someone was going to shoot
And
themselves,
then-
it wouldn't be from that angle.
Yeah, and you wouldn't take the tablecloth off and then turn a couple of vases over.
What's in this room up here?
This is her washroom.
Is there anything amiss?
Let's see if there's anything amiss. In the bathroom, you see a bathtub in the corner, a small lavatory here, and a mat in the middle of the room. That's about it. And a mirror up here.
I push open the mirror, revealing a hidden passage behind it.
Pushing open the mirror, you reveal a cabinet selection showing a bunch of small herbal remedies.
Oh.
You push open the mirror,
Is there-
revealing...
Is there
What?
is there any potion of gunshot cure?
potion of gunshot. There are a few healing potions in here, a few magical things, but nothing particularly... Nothing murder-related, really. No poisons or anything like that.
I should...
But then again, what can cure can also kill if made correctly.
I doubt this doesn't look like a poisoning.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a poisoning.
I still think she shot herself.
Did they poison the bullet? They shot her in the back.
I mean that she got
It's
shot.
pretty clear.
They made
how
her
she
swallow a
died.
bullet, and then they had a super strong magnet outside that caused the bullet to rip out of her chest.
God, Faustus.
I think she got shot, Faustus.